webinar brought to you by MetricsDAO. I am Vida and I'm really excited to be talking about Solana with you today. We're going to start in 1 minute. GM everyone, let's kick this off. Let us know that you're here in the chat by typing hello. Okay, let's kick this off. So before we start talking about Solana, I would like to introduce you the organizer of this webinar. My name is Vida. I am education lead at MetricsDAO, and at MetricsDAO, we are a community of Web3 data analysts who provide Web3 organizations with on-demand data insights and tooling. So at the moment, we run a bunch of different kind of courses that are designed to onboard you onto the Web3 analytics space, as well as onto the different ecosystem protocols. In addition to that, we're also running a bunch of different analytics challenges that are designed to support you in your analytics journey. We are running these challenges in partnership with different blockchain organizations that are working in the different blockchain ecosystems. So by attending these webinars and by going through our courses, you are preparing yourself to become not only a good data analyst, but also a great Web3 analyst. And because we are going to onboard you on actually how you can get involved into these different ecosystems, go through these analytics challenges, and even get paid. So in MetricsDAO, we are much more than just analytics challenges or just education. We are supporting you in your career path in going from zero to a pro analytics to pro analytics career and also we are focusing on onboarding you into the different ecosystems. So that's what we are at. And also we have a bunch of amazing stories from people that have graduated from our programs and managed to land jobs in the Web3 space. So if you do want to start a career in Web3, if you do want to become a Web3 analyst, our programs are great opportunities for you to start your career in this space. So let's start talking about Solana. So I just wanted to tell you today is a Solana primer. We're not going to be talking about any technicalities or analytics things. This is going to be the course where we are going to be delving deeper into the Solana analytics as well as some deeper technical stuff. So today, the idea of this webinar is to give you a foundational understanding of Solana ecosystem. And in a few weeks, we actually are going to be launching a free course where you're going to be able to learn deeper about Solana, complete quizzes, and learn how can you get involved in our Solana analytics challenges. Great. What about you? So love to also learn about some of the people here. I see some names like Felipe. Great to see you coming back. See going dark, Bashoy. So let us know if you're here. Let us know what's your background, what excites you about Solana. And yeah, would love to see who's here in the chat. Right. So let's kick this off, and let's kick this off by talking about even what is Solana. What is it about? And I would like to mention that Solana is a layer 1 blockchain. So same as other blockchain technologies, it is open source and it is permissionless. But something that really separates it is it's incredibly high performance. And we are going to be looking actually today into why Solana is such a high performing blockchain makes it and what it makes it so high performing. But before we even head into Solana, I just wanted to give you as well a quick primer to Ethereum. Since to understand Solana, it is good to understand Ethereum. So this with Ethereum, even though it is the first blockchain ecosystem at the moment, and there's so many developers building on it, it is very expensive and slow. Also, it is uh, very problematic when it comes to scalability. Ethereum has huge problems with scalability, and now many blockchains, including Solana, are seeing how they can do a better job than Ethereum, and they are trying to focus more on scalability and faster transaction speeds as well as cheaper transaction fees. This is what Solana as well has done way better than Ethereum. Right. So now let's look into the quick overview. So Solana is actually a huge ecosystem. So it's actually second behind Ethereum. And it was conceived in 2017. And it was conceived by Anatoly Yakovenko, and who had a vision for a decentralized network of nodes to match the performance of a single node. And as you will see, Anatoly's vision came true very well. Okay, so you can look here into the different blockchains and just compare the different speeds and current transactions per second. And you can see how much Solana is better than the other blockchains. So you can see that, for example, block time for Ethereum is 15 seconds, but with Solana is way shorter, as well as current transaction speeds are incredibly fast and it's hard to match. Okay, so I'm sorry. I think my connection is a bit bad today. But let's continue. So essentially, Solana has implemented its own white paper, and white paper is essentially outlined at the very beginning before like Solana even was founded. It implemented the idea of how Solana is going to be working and what sort of new technologies it is bringing up to the space. So the founder, yet Anatoly, also created the white paper. You can actually find a white paper on the site, so you can check it out and read it for yourself, what he envisioned there. But the idea, like here, is the proof of history. This is the most innovative concept that Solana has brought into the Web3 space, and we're actually going to be looking into what proof of history is really about. So one of the big things that every blockchain has is a token, including Solana. So Solana has its own Sol token, which is used to pay transaction fees in Sol whenever they are transferring funds or interacting with smart contracts. Also, with Solana tokens, validators can actually earn fees by confirming transactions. Since Solana does use a proof of stake. So now let's look into the different key features of Solana blockchain, which makes it stand out. So as we talked, is that Solana is actually a very fast blockchain. So it has 65,000 transaction speeds per second, which is unmatchable with any other blockchain in the market. Also, it has an incredibly low cost, with a fraction of a penny. Costing to execute a transaction. Also, it has a unique consensus mechanism. Um, so this proof of stake, like many of the other blockchains, however, it also has proof of history, which is a unique voting system to validate blocks. And it is actually based on the proof of stake consensus mechanism. It just has a bit of a different calculation method. So let's look into a little bit how the consensus mechanism is actually working. So it actually uses bonded proof of stake, where anyone who holds Sol tokens can delegate their votes to any validator that they choose and share in the rewards or penalties for validating transactions. So if you want, you can also just like quickly look through this visual to see how it works. Okay, so now let's look into what proof of history actually is. So proof of history is essentially, we can call it as the implementation of the arrow in time in math. So essentially, this means that transactions on Solana are verifiably ordered without all nodes needing to agree simultaneously. And that's essentially this is the unique innovation that Solana has brought, making the transactions incredibly fast and making it such an efficient blockchain. So essentially, proof of history produces timestamps to show when a block was formed and confirms the interval between two transactions. So this is the unique innovation that proof of history has brought. Okay, so also we can look into it as a cryptographic way to ensure reliable transactions. So essentially, it's focusing on improving the performance of Solana's proof of stake mechanism and helps to eliminate the issue of scalability and time need to reach consensus. So essentially, through utilizing this unique technology, we are able to create historical records that prove that an event has occurred at a specific time. Whereas other blockchains require validators to talk to one another in order to agree that time has passed, each Solana built maintains its own clock by encoding the passage of time in a simple format. So we don't need to understand these little technologies here. We'll actually have more information on that on the course itself. But here, the idea again, just to summarize it, is that this proof of stake proof of history mechanism is architecture that enables transactions to be ordered as they enter the network, whilst with other blockchain technologies, the transactions are being ordered in a different way. They are ordered by block. So this is the key innovation that Solana has brought into the blockchain space. And if you want to learn or understand the key thing about Solana, this is it. This is what Solana has invented. Right. So what's the difference between Solana and Ethereum, between the second and the first ecosystems? So first, Solana very aggressively separates code and data. Um, so then accounts are used to store data and state, which is different from how Ethereum stores it. And so it has a different way of storing accounts. And also the advantage of this different model is that you have one generic program that operates on various data. So some of the key technologies that actually have been implemented by Solana are proof of history. This is the one that we've just discussed. Tower BFT, Turbine, Gulfstream, sea level, pipelining, break, and achievers. I am not going to delve deeper into these technologies today because today we are not going deeper into the technological side of Solana, but we will be having a more detailed explanation of each of these technologies in the course. So if you want to learn more, no worries, we are going to have more information coming up soon. Okay, so one of the things as well that really helped Solana to boost its presence, its huge token raise that was implemented a few years back, where it raised 314 million. So it is one of the largest token sales that has ever been executed. And actually, one of the biggest venture capital firms, A16Z, participated in this sale, which also creates a big reputation for the Solana network. Okay, but let's now just look in overall into what makes a credible project and see how Solana fits there. So essentially, the right people in a project's corner lend to it crucial credibility. The name of the game is to convince as many people as possible to build on your protocol. Then it's about those developers tracking and properly incentivizing users. So here as well, one of the key critical parts of why Solana has been able to grow so fast is its great ability to attract many people, many developers specifically to build on this system, because everything starts from developers. This starts from developers, and then we can actually have a bunch of applications that will attract users that we can also bring in different skill sets. But Solana has been incredibly focusing on developing a friendly and sustainable developer ecosystem. So let's look into then what it means to be a developer in Solana, and how does it work. So Solana's applications are essentially built in Rust, but you can also build it on C or C++. But most developers will be using Rust, and you do need to know Rust in order to utilize its full capabilities. However, it's not an easy language to learn, and also Solana is not an easy language to build upon. It's hard, it's tricky, and it's not things like Ethereum are way easier to develop on. Solana is tricky, but it's really rewarding. So it's really up to a developer himself or herself to decide what they want and if they want to get into such complicated development. But also another thing is that some blockchains are EVM compatible or Ethereum virtual machine compatible. So that means that if you are an Ethereum developer, you can actually build on Solana and Ethereum applications. However, Solana does have a bidirectional token bridge between Solana and Ethereum, so it still allows projects to move tokenized assets across blockchains. So it's still possible to do that because interoperability is very important in the blockchain space. It is really important that blockchains are able to speak with each other. In particular, it's important to blockchains to be able to speak with Ethereum. It is the biggest ecosystem. So Solana doesn't have EVM, but however, it does have a way to speak with Ethereum. So we can also look into Solana as a fast car, as a fast car which is very difficult to drive. So I actually got it from the internet, a car that is very difficult to drive, however, that is really fast. So for developers, it's really hard to build, but what you build is going to be incredibly fast, and probably some of the fastest speeds in the whole of the blockchain space. So it's really up again to developer to decide what do you want when you're building. But but the key here about building on Solana is that it's really fast but really difficult. And we can see that Solana actually, other than achieving and becoming the second largest ecosystem in the blockchain space, it also has achieved some of the highest developer growth. So it actually so we don't know where it's going to go, but we can see that it's not going to stop, and it's going to continue growing and continue getting closer to Ethereum in terms of the developers' capability, the developers' number. So it's a very fast moving industry, and Solana is really kind of at the top of the game there. So scaling Solana. So as we know, scaling is really important in the blockchain space. Ethereum is really struggling with it. So Solana actually has a unique scaling mechanism, which is sharding. But the difference here is that Solana has a single shard, while like other blockchains that utilize sharding a lot of the times will have multiple shards. So essentially, many of blockchains will be creating side chains, and then a lot of times they will tap back to Ethereum. But Solana does everything on one single chain in a single state. So this is as well what separates it from other blockchains. But however, if you are a developer or if you're just interested in it, there's this app called Anchor, which is a huge part of the ecosystem of Solana. So this is a really key application in the Solana ecosystem. And here with Anchor, it makes the developer experience much simpler. So essentially, you will have a similar developer experience as with Solidity. If you're especially, if you're familiar with Solidity, that can be really helpful. So essentially, this makes the Solana programs more intuitive to build. And these are some of the key technologies that are in the kind of developer building stack. So Node.js, Solana Tool Suite, Anchor, Solana Browser Wallet. So these are generally the tools that developers will be utilizing in order to build with Solana. So looking into some of the other key applications of Solana, we actually have Serum, which is the biggest DEX in Solana. So just like other blockchains, Solana is very focusing on decentralized finance, and Serum is actually really a key application in the Solana ecosystem. Is one of the biggest applications on Solana. And if you want to understand Solana's ecosystem, this one is good to be aware of. Also, if you want to be checking, like if you're just curious to check what's happening within the Solana network, how much is staked, what's the current price of the token, what transactions are currently out there in the network to track these transactions. You can actually do that through going to explore.solana.com. So this is where you're actually going to find the key data about what's happening in the Solana network. Another key part of Solana, just as in other blockchains, is its wallet. So Solana's key wallet is called Phantom. So it essentially makes it safe and easy for you to store, buy, send, receive, and spam tokens and collect NFTs on the Solana blockchain. Uh, if you are aware of, there are a couple of really key applications that Solana has actually built that are socialify and gamify, kind of connecting these two elements. And here we have Steppen, as well as we're going to showcase you another one that is where essentially you are earning crypto Solana tokens through walking. So through walking, you can actually earn tokens, and you can buy NFT shoes. And this is the biggest kind of social gamify application on kind of Solana, but in general in the whole blockchain space, there's nothing really at this level where you're going to get crypto for walking. So Steppen is a huge app, and it's a very, very popular app at the moment. And we also have another similar one, which is called Sweatcoin. In this case, you don't really buy NFT shoes, but you can actually earn crypto through walking and then exchange that crypto for various partner discounts. Okay, so another big part of Solana, and which actually relates in it trying to onboard masses into crypto, is it was actually announced about a year ago, and essentially it's built to directly compete with traditional payment systems like Visa, MasterCard, and American Express. And essentially, it partners with different companies to accept Solana Pay, as one of their biggest pay mechanisms. So. Payment mechanism. So essentially, Solana Pay is trying to really kind of be at the front from when it comes to how can we actually onboard various merchants to accept crypto. So yeah, so Solana Pay is really doing that well and has done a huge progress, and it's very likely to become one of very prevalent in many online stores and in general physical retailers where they will be accepting Solana Pay as one of their currencies. Also, Solana has a really big ecosystem for games. So we also sell kind of GameFi application like Steppen, but we also have just a bunch of different kinds of games. that are built. Like Star Atlas is the biggest one, and then we also have DeFi Land, Opera, Aurora, Project Seed. So gaming is a huge part of the Solana ecosystem. So DeFi and gaming obviously are like the key elements. Also, Solana does have a growing and a pretty big NFT ecosystem. So there are a lot of NFTs that are currently built on Solana, and also has a bunch of different NFT marketplaces. So it also has a big ecosystem for NFTs. Other than NFTs, Solana also is actually providing grants for various projects. So the moment it provides various grants to these projects, which also actually is a good signal to understand where Solana is heading to and where it wants projects to be built. So at the moment, if you have any ideas in these parts like censorship resistance, DAO tooling, developer tooling, education, payments, or some applications linked to Solana Pay, financial inclusion, climate change, and academic research, you can actually go and apply for a grant on Solana. You can potentially get a grant to actually build on top of Solana and then your idea in one of those areas. Other than the grant, also Solana has a very huge ecosystem of support. So it has actually various projects happening. So it has it actually can do smart contract audits for projects. So actually Solana, there's this thing called Solana Labs, which essentially provides trains and assists third-party auditors to audit projects and make sure they are safe. So let's say if you maybe want to become an auditor, a smart contract auditor, which is actually one of the highest paid jobs in the Web3 space, you can actually train with Solana Labs and learn how to do that. Then there's actually a Solana program library, which is like an open source library, and companies can use this library to run to run with and by building front ends and businesses around them. They include stake pools, governance protocols, token programs, and name service, and a token swap program. Also, other than that, Solana, other than the grants that the Solana offers, it also has its own investment arm. So essentially, it has this project called Solana Capital. So Solana actually directly invests in projects that build on the protocol, and the Solana Labs team makes introductions to the other investors and people who might be helpful. So if you are looking for investment, again, like Solana Labs is something you can look into as well to get some capital to build on Solana to fund your project. So we can look into like these different projects are here. So we obviously have the DeFi stuff like and DeFi uptaking most of the ecosystem. However, there are some interesting infrastructure projects, some interesting tooling, and also a bunch of gaming NFT projects. So again, like DeFi, gaming and NFTs are the most critical kind of pieces of the Solana ecosystem, where we actually have really interesting projects and where in certain kind of areas actually Solana is leading the game, like let's say GameFi projects like Stepin that we saw. Okay, so that was it about Solana. I'd like to right now quickly introduce the opportunities that we have available within MetricsDAO. And we're also going to share in the chat the Solana course that I mentioned. We actually right now just give you a primer to Solana. We give you a primer to understand what the ecosystem is about. Hopefully help you to get a grasp of like the key ideas behind Solana, the key technologies and the key players building on Solana. However, we will be having a more detailed course which will give you a good explanation of the different technologies as well as analytics pieces so you can actually start building on Solana. And even complete analytics challenges with our partners because we do have some Solana bounties available for you that you can get involved in. Other than Solana, we also have a bunch of other courses currently available, like Algorand, Ethereum, and we are about to launch right now actually Near course. In addition to that, we do have currently Web3 Analytics 101 program, both asynchronous and synchronous. that you can participate in. And also, I would really recommend you to join our Discord server if you have not already joined, because in the Discord server, we actually have um, this Solana chat, which will allow you to ask any questions linked with Solana, but also is the best way to get in touch with the community, with other people that are interested in learning about the different ecosystems. Also, just to meet, the team, to meet, your fellow Solana curious people, and especially if you're also interested in the Web3 analytics stuff. We have so many kind of people right now, like hundreds of people, and actually that are going through our programs at the moment. So there's a great way to get engaged with your fellow Web3 analytics and Web3 curious community. So I would really, really encourage you to join the Discord server if you haven't not already. We're, I think, now 4,600 people strong, and we would definitely love to have you there as well. So also, we're actually going to be sharing with you the form right now. Actually, okay, it's actually already shared. So in this form, you can register to the course, and then you will be also asked to enter your wallet address, just ensure to enter your Polygon wallet address. And as well, when you do join the Discord server, do go to start your journey channel, because there you will be connecting to the guild, and then we'll actually see that you have the badge, because we are going to be sending you a special badge once you fill in the form. But the badge can only be sent if you put your Polygon wallet address down. And since we do it once per week, we're sending the badge manually. It might take a few days for you to receive the badge. So if you don't have the badge, immediately, if you cannot connect to Guild and see all the channels, don't worry, because it will take a few days for it to be sent. So do check in a few days, in a week, and then if it's not there, then do let us know. We'll ensure that you have the badge available. Okay, so I think it's time to finish this for today. Then thank you so much, everyone, for attending the webinar. Hope you got something out of it, and I hope it sparked your interest about Solana, and I hope you got to learn something new. Very, very looking forward to seeing you further in our community, in our other webinars, and I hope that you will also join our course. So if you join the server, do let us know, introduce yourself, and have a good day. Bye bye, everyone.